the numbers so late in the budget year that every single school district scrambles for August, September, October, trying to figure out what to do because every year they get less than they thought they were going to get.
Now, we're here today because the Annie Casey Foundation just released a new study,
Yeah.
Race for Results, showing how much progress, or in some cases lack thereof, we've seen here in Nevada in the past 3 years since
Right.
the last time they released a report showing children's well-being, including what's happening on the K-12 education front.
Right.
Now, from what I've seen thus far this morning, there are some shocking numbers in there, especially when it comes to children from communities of color.
Yeah. Well, the point I made at the press conference is that communities of color are the majority. They're about 66% of Nevada's current K through 12 population. They are the future of the workforce. We've got to take care of children of color, as we'd have to take care of every child. But if we continue to have high pockets of underperforming with children of color, Nevada's workforce future will be a total disaster. And these numbers are unbelievably terrible. Let's just start with immigrant children. Only 8% are reading at level, and an immigrant child is 1 in 3 children in CCSD. Either a current ELL child or a past ELL child is 1 in 3. We have a great master plan. We have great staff, but we don't have enough resources to help these kids and really give them the kind of instruction that they need. And most importantly, we don't have pre-K. Immigrant children, more than any child, needs pre-K so that they can learn English starting off. African American kids live in pockets of poverty. We started off with victory schools. We've made $20-30 million in investment, but that's not enough to reach every single African American child. And same thing with Latino kids. Latino kids are the most likely to live in poverty. 60% live in poverty, and we still don't have enough supports for them. So what I'm saying is, we have the ideas and we have the plans, but do we have the dollars to actually invest and make sure that they're getting the instruction they need? And the answer to that is no.
So finally, what do we do? What do we do in the near term with these school districts still swimming in all this red
Right.
ink and having to make these very difficult decisions? And then longer term, in terms of actually achieving equity in public education.
The Nevada legislature has a constitutional responsibility to sufficiently fund public schools. It is in our original constitution in 1864, and it is still in our constitution in 2017. So the answer is very simple. Hold the legislature and governor accountable for providing sufficient funds for kids. I'll give you 2 examples where the legislature has played shenanigans with dollars that we, the taxpayer, have actually taxed ourselves to put money into the school system. Let's take the pot tax. Is the pot tax going to increase the dollars and help Clark County and Washoe out of their budget deficits? No. Why? Because the legislature has decided to take those pot tax dollars, take the money that they allocated here for education, take that allocated money out as the pot dollars go in. So we're not increasing with our pot tax revenues. We are staying the same from that sham budget that the governor came up with. It's going to stay the same at the same level. That's not right, because when we voted down here in Clark County and in Washoe for the pot tax, we thought we were going to add to education. Same thing with the room tax. The room tax expressly says this money is to supplement and to increase money for teachers. Has the Nevada legislature done that? No. That money is going into the general budget in a account they called temporary account, which they totally made up. When our legislature plays games like that, we have to call them out. And if they're using education dollars to fund other things, which I'm sure they're quite worthwhile, that's fine, but find the money in other places. We have the potential to find that money. I now pay less property taxes than I did when I first moved into the state of Nevada because of the property tax abatement. And I know that citizens like me would be more than happy to go to pre-recession property tax levels to do something about this future disaster path that we're on.
Yeah. And finally, since you mentioned the marijuana tax, my understanding is that money is currently going into the state's rainy day fund. But now that it's pouring with at least some of our school districts, do you think it's appropriate for the governor and legislature to call a special session soon to perhaps direct some of that rainy day money into the school districts?
Absolutely. Let's be clear that money is going into the rainy day fund because of the politics around vouchers last session. Because the governor and the Republican Party insisted that the Democrats fund vouchers and were running out of time, instead of putting that money into education, it was the stalemate to put it into the rainy day fund. And yet everyone in the room knew that education was starved for dollars. Playing politics with kids' lives is wrong. Call out your legislators and tell them to stop it and do something about our situation down here in Clark County and in Washoe.